7 years ago, when my clean-shaven face was showing onset signs of hair and rocking spec frames specifically to look like Richard Ayoade, I was a massive Radiohead fan. I don't think I'll ever be as much of a fanatic of any musician, band or group, whatever, as I was for Radiohead when I was 16 years old. I even remember waking up at 5 AM on the release day of A Moon-Shaped Pool just to catch the release. I even remember the Google Play leak. Truth be told, I can't bear to watch that video anymore. Even though I'm proud of it for making me the person I am today, I couldn't do it. And also tastes slip, shift, and shape over time, so here's a new list of 11 Radiohead songs, one from each album. Sort of. You'll see what I mean. Number 1 is the song Blowout from Pablo Honey in 1993, the ugly duckling of Radiohead's discography. A lot of people over time, including myself, have tried to defend this album as something worthy of reappraisal. I'm gonna be honest, guys, don't bother, it's not worth it. It's about 5 minutes of self-combustion, the last two which could have set the entire incoming Britpop movement on fire, but that's not the timeline we live in. Radiohead's early music is lashing out in ways that evoke self-harm, disappearance, suicide, and Blowout is a long, drawn-out version of that. Number 2 is Nice Dream from The Bends in 1995. From the floating sensations of that guitar strumming, the lavish backing, and the painting of paradise, a total brain box might be reminded of My Sweet Lord by George Harrison, and you'd be right, that was the inspiration for this track. The Bends reminds me of a body trying to keep itself warm during winter. There's a cold air on the whole album that you just can't shake at all. There's a shock image, no pun intended, of you calling out for help to an angel, but the angel decides not to help because the sea would electrocute us all. Depressive. Number 3 is Subterranean Homesick Alien from OK Computer in 1997. The album, the Radiohead album. When it comes to this track listing, no surprises, it's still perfect. Airbag is one of the best openers. The Tourist is one of the best closers. But Subterranean Homesick Alien is, 1, a summer song on a very cold, wintry album, but also a song that just makes my heart swoon, which is also very unusual for OK Computer, which is otherwise very oppressive and frigid. That chorus lets a little bit of breeze into the room and makes me think of like tablecloths and pictures just flapping around because of the wind. There's a little melody at some point that resembles a slide guitar, and it fills my heart with so much love. Number 4 is Idiotech from Kid A, 2000. You know the song. You probably love the song. I used to hate it. The moment it clicked for me was in 2018 on a very rainy evening. I was coming home from university, I was in the city, and I was taking the bus back to the shore. And the bus was crowded, it was packed. I was standing holding one of the poles, trying to hold on while also kind of getting bunched up against a whole bunch of other people returning home from work. And Idiotech came on in a shuffle, and I got it straight away. It was oppressive. You could say I felt like a packed sardine in a crushed tin box. Speaking of which, Number 5 is I Might Be Wrong from Amnesiac in 2001. Labeled as a B-sides album from Kid A, which is what it is, I do also think it is structurally, narratively, one of Radiohead's best albums, if not the best. Not to ride the coattails of John Darnielle's amazing essay on why Amnesiac is so good. I Might Be Wrong has bounce, but it's also got very subtle tone shifts. Darnielle actually comments on these tone shifts, how they make the song cinematic, how the song naturally rises from sleepy resignation to bitter anger, and to quote him, how a thing changes when you say it twice. Were there ever a show of the appeal of Thom Yorke's subtle and ghostly vocal style, then this would be it. Number 6 actually comes from a collection of outtakes from the Outtakes album, Amnesiac Outtakes. It's called Fog, and I think it actually, some days I do wonder if it is my favorite Radiohead song in general. It's twinkly, it's pretty, it's about the fragments of childhood that remained within us. It makes me wonder if this is the only Radiohead song that is truly about choosing life. Number 7, Where I End and You Begin, from the very disjointed, politically angry, and cartoonish Hail to the Thief from 2003. Every song on this album is so fleshed out and grotesque and angry. They remind me of like puppets or clay figures. Where I End and You Begin is like a calling for the apocalypse. Number 8 is Weird Fishes from In Rainbows in 2007. Along with No Surprises, this might be Radiohead's objectively most musically accomplished track, just so beautifully pristine and put together. But Weird Fishes is a gorgeous, otherworldly plunge. It makes you appreciate the natural world that much more. Number 9 is Bloom from the heinously underrated The King of Limbs. Even the Hard Times didn't get it right. If there's a Radiohead album that I would happily listen to again and again, it would be this one. It's so hypnotic. But more than just being quote-unquote hypnotic, that might not mean much to you. What does really make it appeal to me is just the percussion, the trickling water, or just sounds just clattering and banging and clinking off one another. That kind of interplay between all the sounds just never gets old, and it's interesting how the songs progress in this way. Bloom, therefore, is a masterpiece. It's frankly amazing how the image on this song shifts from the machinery on a moving train to ascension to heaven, to the mothership. Even while editing this video, I've realized new things about the track. You know the piano melody that starts it off? It's only there for about 10 seconds, but it feels like it carries on for way longer, as if it were a ghost. Once the percussion clicks in, it's really no more than just a split-second stutter that keeps going. But the melody's still lingering in your mind. You're imagining it's there. It makes me think of plant life time-lapsing, not to be mistaken for human life prolapsing. And therefore, number 10 is Staircase, an outtake from The King of Limbs, and one of Radiohead's best just loosies that they just threw on. Staircase is like Bloom, but more understated, steadier paced, and just a little bit more content with itself. And number 11, capping this off, is Present Tense from A Moon-Shaped Pool, and I wouldn't be surprised if that was Radiohead's final album. After all these years, it really feels like it. It's a weep, it's a breakup song, it's a goodbye, a bossa nova about you facing away as the rest of your world crumbles down behind you. What really sets this track apart from the rest is the epiphany at the 2:45 mark. That just sounds like everything snapping into focus, or just like a tone shift. Present Tense is particularly powerful because it is at once both a denial and acknowledgement of how badly things are going in the present tense. After all, to deny it, we have to be at least a little bit aware of how badly things are going, right? But it's implied that eventually we're gonna have to wake up to what's really going on. But let us savor this last moment, this last piece of the memory before I have to do that. And that right there, that is what it's like to be heartbroken over a goodbye. Hey, just as a little bonus, why not chuck on 3 other tracks that aren't Radiohead songs but have Radiohead personnel on them? Thom Yorke's The Eraser from his 2006 solo album, The Eraser. I'd like to think that longtime fans remember Atoms for Peace, the supergroup with Thom Yorke. They did a song called Ingenue, and it's amazing. I love it. And while I didn't really love the Smiles album from last year, I did enjoy Free in the Knowledge, or did crack a smile. I'm sure you know that Coldplay, a band that in the early years was accused of sounding a lot like Radiohead, and it's just funny that the Radiohead personnel are making songs that sound like Coldplay. A big circle. Hey, why not? I'll see you.